Okay folks, I found this by the side of the road and I thought I'd tear a bit off. Let's see how we go with this. I don't know how it's going to look. It's an experimental piece, of course, like most of my work is. I might have to put the camera down and put the thing on the glass. Okay, let's see how we go with this. Okay, I'll show you what it is, but I have to use both hands to put it on. It is 2 pieces of fly mesh, and we've got this one creating what's known as a moire, like the crisscross lines of these 2 layers of fly mesh. I'm just putting the phone down so I can put these on the glass without too much ado. A little bit tricky, folks, but hopefully it'll be worth it. I'm just going to put the paper behind it. Maybe drop the dot feeder down onto it a little bit, not too much. I might leave the dot feeder open and see what happens. Just leave it a little bit up, so we don't have it sitting totally flat. Hopefully that'll make the moire more happening. The crisscross lines, they call it the moire effect. It's hard to explain, but that funny strobe effect that you get. And that's come up looking quite interesting. It's not very, you can just make out that moire effect. Maybe we'll have to lighten it further, maybe enlarge it less. Yeah, that looks a bit more interesting. It looks a bit very subtle. It's not a very obvious kind of effect that I was hoping to get. I'm going to try and put the dot feeder down on it and see what happens. I'm going to take out some of that brightness. Yeah, you can see it more easily. You can see the interesting interference pattern. Still not quite as moire-ish as I was hoping it would be. I actually think this could be a master copy instead of making it like that. I'm going to make it matte mode. Yeah, that looks a bit more contrasty, a lot more sharper with the matte mode. Do wonder what else we're going to do with this silly thing. yeah, it looks a bit more contrasty, which it is. That's what we pretty well want, is that contrasty, sharpened look. We'll just get a close look at the lovely moire pattern that you can just make out on there. So I'm just going to show you folks just what some of this pattern is, but it's not very obvious straight up like that. So yeah, we've darkened it. It's come up looking a lot nicer looking. I do think we're going to make this into a movement piece. We're not going to just leave it a static piece like that. We're going to move it around. So we're just going to remove the fly screen material that I found on the side of the road. And incidentally, this is the material, I don't know if it's the same material as here, but the cockatoos love to chew on it and put holes in it, and it's really not nice because you get pests coming through. Fortunately, last summer we didn't have many pests, but we had cockatoos chewing on my fucking fly screens, and they're just, don't feed the cockatoos, don't feed the birds, because birds can be very destructive. Even though I hate what's on the news, there was an article where someone's motel room was destroyed by cockatoos, which had obviously been fed, and they expected more, and they just totally trashed this motel room and tore things up and made a mess. So don't feed the birds, folks. People have been feeding the birds, and it's really not good. It doesn't pay in the long term. It might seem nice and charming to have birds eating out of your hand or eating off your windowsill, but it's not so good when they start coming around and making a nuisance of themselves. And that's why people often end up, when they're eating fish and chips on the beach, they end up having seagulls attacking their lunches because people in the past have fed them. And that's come up looking really nice. People in the past have fed the birds, and the birds have just become a little bit too friendly, and it's not nice. In the end, it's not the nice thing anymore when you can't eat your fish and chips and you have some birds' germs or bird lice ending up in your fucking fish and chips. So don't feed the birds, folks. Not worth it. It might seem nice, but it's not worth it. And that's come up looking really quite nice. I think we'll utilise that one. I forgot to put on the colour, but we're going to work this as a black and white piece. I think it looks really nice in black and white. But yeah, don't feed the birds, folks. And that's coming up looking really nice. I do like that effect. It's starting to marble. I do wonder if we're going to maybe take out the enlargement. Just put it at 100 now. Yeah, they also like eating wooden window frames, the cockatoos. They're highly destructive. So they eat wooden window frames as well as fly screens. Not worth it, folks. Not worth it. And that's come up looking really quite interesting. Not quite what I'm after. We're going to go further. yeah, that's come up looking really quite interesting. Going to try another one, folks. It's really difficult trying to get this to work really well. These marblings are really difficult to control, these movements. Trying to get the right look. Yeah, that's come up looking a treat. I think we can work with that. That looks really quite nice. But yeah, you just don't feed the birds. That's just the bottom line, folks. I do think we're going to change our original type to text. I've got to find this thing called Text Enhance. This stupid copier system has a really stupid user interface, which I really find this is what we're after. So yeah, dark text. Gonna make it really nice. But yeah, the way photocopiers are designed is absolutely appalling. The way they just care about money and that's it. They don't care about the longevity of the equipment or the experience of the customer. They just prioritise profit over everything, pretty much. And that's really quite a nasty thing. And the man behind this company called Konica Minolta, his name is Shohei Yamada. He ought to be ashamed of himself. He doesn't know how to make a good copier system. He just knows how to make money out of it. And that's pretty much his game. It's come up looking quite interesting. Don't know if I like it, but it looks really bright. Looks like, not bright, but really contrasty. Okay, there's two. Maybe we could do something else with that. I'm going to do something interesting. Going to make this. Going to reverse the colours, or should I say the tones. Not the colours, this is black and white, and therefore it's a tone. It's what they call tones. I'm going to use our original size because negative mode gets a bit confused and then mirror image. So I'm just going to find our mirror image button. I'm just going to start with one first to make sure we got it right. This is going to be a rather prolongated demo, folks. This one's not going to fit on LinkedIn or Reddit. It's not going to fit. It's going to be over 15 minutes. It already is. So it's going to be a long video. And if you're uploading to Instagram, it's going to be called a what do they call it? I forgot what they call it. A post instead of a reel. And yeah, whatever. I won't go into it. It'll go up on YouTube and Facebook and Vimeo. I do a lot of social media. I'm trying to get on the 6 o'clock news, trying to get recognised as a photocopier artist, as well as trying to contact someone that I love whose name is Luigi. I'm trying to get on Channel 9 and that's come up a real treat. I think we can now call this demo quits.